another strike pod by myself because that's what we're doing at this moment. But this time you're getting video. So, let's just see how that goes. And, everybody's busy. Everybody's doing their own thing. Lots of people are overwhelmed still. So I just wanted to do it myself because if I didn't, I would just wait for everything. So, and that has its own things. So I'm just going to talk about a few things today and we'll see if I feel like actually posting this. Okay. So the first thing is that the strike is still going on. As most people already know, this will come out probably Thursday, which is the 4th, something like that. And the strike committee, the 4th, November 2nd is when this will come out. But the strike committee and the AMPTP have been talking for a long time, and they met over the weekend, or they worked over the weekend, and they're going to be meeting, I think, again. You'll hear Phoebe, by the way. I never close my door when I do it by myself, so I don't know. That might be a bad idea. All right. Anyway, so we'll see what happens with the strike. Maybe by the time that you hear this, it will be over. Who's to say? And we'll be able to release some Park Bell stuff. So, okay. All right. I'm just going to tell you about everything that's going on. Number 1, I cleaned my refrigerator. Do you know how exhaustive and exhausting cleaning a refrigerator is out? I was like a little bright-eyed lamb, and I was like, oh my god, it'll just be like really fast, and like don't even worry about it. I'll just like clean out these drawers and just get some of these like crazy little splotches out. I took those drawers out, and I don't understand what happened. Everything's brown. Also, by the way, what the fuck? I consider myself a very diverse eater and not just brown stuff, but somehow everything turns brown when it's at the bottom of your fridge. And I was finding all of these nasty ass things, and I was like, how have I lived in this? I have lived in this. I have put my food in this, and it's despicable and disgusting. And I was like spraying it with all of the cleaners, scrubbing, sweating. I felt like I was wrestling a wild boar. I mean, truly don't understand how that even happened. And the same goes for like anything. I thought cleaning the bathtub was bad, but are you kidding me? I mean, that I'm sweating and gross and grime, and then I'm like, this came from my body. Does everyone understand this? I live by myself, okay? I'm the only one that is responsible for this monstrous, terrible mess. Okay? So anyway, I just wanted to tell everyone that is working on their cleanliness that you are not alone. There's lots of nastiness going on. And yeah, that is a first world problem that I have the ability to clean. So I get it. I do get it. Okay? Clean like appliances is what I mean to say. And like have running water and all that stuff. Okay? Okay. Next thing that I want to talk about is, and I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again because I don't know why it keeps coming up. You got to stop telling people that it's going to happen when you least expect it. You got to stop it. It's just not true. And a lot of people who are saying this are married or have been in relationships for 100,000 years where they're not in the current dating scene. You don't know. You just can't do that. And I know that you're probably thinking when you say it, like you mean when you're confident, when you're living your own life, when you feel good about yourself, that's when things will start happening for you. But say that instead. Do not say that it's going to happen when I least expect it, because I have 2 qualms with that. Number 1, I have not been expecting it for the longest time. Okay. Gave up is the wrong word, but it's been my time to not look for a long time. Okay. And nothing has happened. All right. I haven't expected anything in a long fucking time. So that theory's out the window. Second thing is, and I want to do this in a stand-up tour if I ever do a stand-up tour, or maybe I'll just keep podcasting and posting on TikTok this little moment. But this kind of joke that I've been thinking / workshopping is going to doing that, and I might have said it before, but telling somebody that you're gonna find love when you least expect it, or maybe not even love, but just like a relationship, dating, whatever, is like going to, and I'm gonna tell you the origin of this, but I first thought it was like going to the restaurant and then expecting food to appear. You didn't order it, you just it just happened. Maybe that would but see, like, then to take the joke further, or analogy further, I was going to say, you have to actually order what you want, say what you want. But now it's like, in this day and age, saying that is like going to the fucking laundromat, like a laundromat, and then expecting food to just arrive with like a moving truck of like, you know, linen and tablecloths and tables and like flowers and all this stuff. You're at the fucking laundromat. It's not going to happen. You got to go to the place where you know they are, ask for what you want, ask for your needs, ask for everything, demand it sometimes, okay? No. It happens when you least expect it, may work for some people. I'm not dissing that part, okay? You can write me, at me, all you want. But it just doesn't happen for the majority of people, okay? And when you say that, it just makes us feel kind of shitty. I honestly have now kind of just talked back to that and been like, actually, that's really cute that you think that, but that's not actually how that works. And if you want me to explain, like, I totally will. But that's not, no. Thank you. I love you. Bye. You know what I mean? So don't go to the laundromat and expect to get a meal. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Okay. You know. All right. And then the other thing is that I am reading I just finished Fourth Wing, which a lot of people have been going crazy over on Book Talk and like whatever. I am jaded because I've read a lot of fantasy books in the last couple years, and I truly... I think it's a great story. I love the relationships. I think it was a great ending. No spoilers here. But it's nothing I haven't read before. It's nothing that I have been like, was so shocked by. I could kind of see what was coming. Again, it's because I've read 8,000 books. I'm not saying that you should not read it. Okay, you should read it. I'm just telling you what I know and what I experienced. Okay. But the thing that I did appreciate about it, though, in a lot of fantasy books, is that the lead dude that gets with the lead gal is always walking alongside them rather than behind or in front. And like, it's always the not bad, but like the one that we don't want her to get with is always trying to protect too much and just trying to control her too much. And they think it's like a really sweet thing of like, I just want you to be safe. I don't want to see you hurt, but I don't need a bodyguard or a protector. I need a co-pilot. I need you to get on this fucking dragon with me and burn the villains to death. What are you talking about? Okay? It's not going to do either of us any good if my strong, brilliant, talented, magical ass can wield some fire and you can wield ice. You think ice is only going to save everybody? No, you got to have both. You got to have a balance, okay? So I do love that part of the fantasy books, and that's just like kind of going off the romantical moments of like what was happening with the main characters. But again, that's not a spoiler, okay? That's every effing fantasy book ever. And then I'm going to start reading, I just got it from the library, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, who was on iCarly, and she's been making the podcast rounds and all these things. So I'm really kind of getting mentally prepared because I know it's really heavy and deep. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so that's kind of, I have one more thing I guess I could say. There's Phoebe again. Hello, Phoebe. The other thing is that I'm kind of over 2023. I'm kind of starting 2024 already, and meaning that I am, or maybe this is like, okay, here's what I'll say. Okay, I am done with 2023 in the sense where I think that I'm starting my 2024 resolution / like clarity moments happening right now and trying to just go by those right now. One of them is be more of an asshole, and that's just setting boundaries. That's just like being helpful to myself and doing what serves me. And usually I'm very kind about these things, but to me it seems so dramatic, so I have to make it be like, be an asshole. And then usually it just comes out normal, like a regular business partner or, you know, business meeting rather. But anyway, so I've been reaching out to new managers and agents and representatives because I'd like to have some representation in, different places, not just the Southeast. So I'm looking in LA markets, Chicago markets. I haven't thought about New York, I haven't done New York yet, but I have thought about it. And then I also need a theatrical agent in Atlanta. So, and a manager, but we'll see, and it's just interesting because this whole process is crazy, but I feel like I've gotten to that point in my career, which I think many artists get to, where they have a meeting with somebody and they're telling them all these things, like the person on the other end is telling them all these things, like, have you tried this? Have you done this? Have you done that? And literally everything, I'm like, yep. Oh yeah, I did that a year ago. Oh yeah, I still do that now. That's really cool. Funny you mentioned that. I actually have already done that. And I'm just like, you guys, because they put me in a box too, which I think a lot of people do, regardless of how far you've come or how like talented you may be or whatever. And especially women, they just put me in a box and they don't think that I can do certain things. And then they'll ask, have I tried this, that, and the other? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I have done that. And I'm always nice. And I'm always like, I know that you mean well, but it's fine. I guess you didn't like read all of my email, which, not everyone does, which, I can't get angry at that because it's just, I'm going to be angry for a long time, So kind of getting over that and kind of getting over, the burnout that accompanies messaging people 800,000 times and like telling them what you're about and doing your whole thing. So I think that is something that I'm just getting used to, but I am excited about, getting used to. I've done this 100 times, like just easing back into it, easing back into the manager thing. Like the further I get into the weeds of the business and the meetings and all the things, the less / further away. So the further away I get from the art and why I like this and what I'm even doing. And so I think I just need to take a step back and like look at people that I love, like Jack Black, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, the Broad City Girls. Like all those people weren't really expecting anything to happen. They were just doing it because they liked it with the hopes that maybe, but it just made them joyful and they got to work with their friends and they got to like really work on their craft and their art. And I don't know. I think that that's something that I have to constantly, and everybody does this, has to constantly keep reminding themselves of that and that's what makes this business so hard. You cannot focus. And this goes for life in general, honestly, but especially this like career path, I guess. You cannot focus on the end goal. You can have it in sight, you can have a finish line in sight, but like if you keep focusing on that, it doesn't create the best work. It doesn't create the joy. You keep thinking about, well, I wish I had that. And you think you need more. And the thing that holds me back a lot is money, because to create a lot of these cool things, I want to produce them and put them on right. But, there is TikTok to start off with. There is Instagram. There is podcasting. There are ways to make what you want to make. Without having to spend $800,000. And I haven't done music in a while or sang in a while. And I think that that's also really the thing when you're an artist and you have 800,000, plates in the air. You're like, what do I focus on? But I haven't done music, and that makes me happy too. So kind of diversifying and making sure that you're just doing what makes you joyful. So yeah, I hope that can be something that I focus on in 2024, or AKA now. And what I've been trying to think about, like, what do I want to do first? What do I want to spend my money on first? That kind of thing. So, do I move? Because I've been thinking about moving for quite some time. The things. Okay, so that's kind of the update with me. We've still been recording Park Pals episodes, so hopefully those can come out, I don't know, sooner rather than later. I just don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm just, what the fuck? So, and then hopefully I'll be able to start a new podcast soon in addition to the Park Pals. So I have thoughts. Okay, so at this point, Phoebe is just a part of the podcast. So I'm sorry if any of you don't like the cat noises. All right, I'm going to finish out the 36 questions to fall in love. I'm going to answer them by myself because I don't care. All right. The last one I ended on was, if you're going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. That's where I talked about Leslie Knope and how that's a blueprint for me. And that's all. Okay, number 4. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time, saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. I'm going to pretend I'm on a date with myself at this point. Again, this is really depressing probably to some people to do this by myself, but honestly, it's kind of therapeutic and cathartic at the same time. So if I was on a date with myself, here are the things that I like about myself. Number one, I am kind. I usually try very hard to make people feel welcome and included. I work really hard. I work so hard, and I try. That's all I do is try. I've never been a natural. All I do is try. Yeah, that's me. I try really hard. And I also love that I try to, this goes to the first thing, I try to include people by teaching them and like having conversations with people. I love teaching. I used to be an acting teacher for kids, and then I also used to like do other stuff like music teaching and substitute teaching. I love it. I think it's, but it's for a cause or a subject that I actually really enjoy. So I like that about myself. And I think that's it. I do like my voice. I like my singing voice, and I think that I'm talented. I do, and that's what's so hard and what you have to remind yourself of, because sometimes when you're going through this process of getting managers, agents, or just auditioning, or just in general, you have to remind yourself, or interviewing in general, anything. You have to say, it's not me. I do like myself. And I also have always been open to change, not just changing myself and my thoughts and, maybe keeping an open mind, but I love change. And some people say, if you want to get really therapeutic about it, some people say that change for a lot of people who grew up in, tumultuous homes, sometimes change was the only constant in their life, if that makes sense. So change is something that makes you feel very comfortable. Maybe I relate to that. I think some of it is change is something I can control. I could control where I moved. I could control that I changed my career path. I could, so for me, it was like, I get to decide this. And if the change is not my choice, then it all hell breaks loose in my head. But I think that was where it started. And now it's more of just I just need something fresh. We all need something fresh. We need some a room to grow, space to breathe, that kind of thing. So, but I like that about myself. And my body, I'm working on liking my body, but it's just, it treats me well, and that's that. Okay. So that's what I like about myself. Okay. And also, what I kind of like about myself sometimes is my stubbornness. I didn't like that about myself for a long time, and now I'm just I'm open to change, but I do like that I like that I can sometimes make a decision and just be like, I'm doing this. I said I'm going to do it, so I'm fucking doing it. Because there's not many people, I'm sorry, I don't mean this to sound cocky. I have not found a lot of people, this is why I have two best friends who have been on this podcast, that keep their word and do what they say they're going to do. It means a lot. Okay. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. I feel like I already did this, but because we said what was a terrible memory, the embarrassing moment was one time, I'll just be brief because I've already said it, but one time in 5th grade, I had a rip in my pants, literally down the back of my pants, and I didn't know that it was there, and I had already had a little, these jeans were I don't know why the fuck I was still wearing these jeans. They had a little tiny hole next to the pocket, and I thought, my teacher told me, you have a rip in your jeans, the real big rip. And I was like, oh, I know. And I thought he was talking about that small little circle. It was a full-on rip, and I found it later when I went to the bathroom, and that was wild. That was really embarrassing. But I have embarrassing moments all the time, more so where I feel shame kind of sometimes my opinion, or because I asked a question that I thought was stupid. But that was the most embarrassing thing that comes to my mind immediately. Okay. When did you last cry in front of another person by yourself? Oh, I already said this in the last one. But briefly, I'll cry. I guess maybe, did I just skip some? Okay. I cried in front of another person, to my mom, I think, when I didn't get a role that I really wanted for a theater thing. And by myself, this is stupid to say again, but I haven't done it. Well, I don't know. I have actually. I have been crying in my dreams. I think that is saying something about how I might want to cry in real life. I just haven't yet. But I've been crying in my dreams. And I would say about a month ago, I woke up crying. And it was I'm sure some of you guys have done this before, where you wake up, you cried in your dream, and you want to cry in real life to get that out of your system. And I actually did cry when I woke up, and that never happened. So I was like, okay. and someone had said something that they like, I can't remember. It was like I don't know, something hurt my feelings in the dream. But that's when I cried by myself, I think. And then when I read books, obviously. Okay, tell your partner something that you like about them already. Well, I just did that. What? That's the same question. Okay. What you like about them already? Maybe it's because like when you just meet, you're like, oh, I already like this part of you. Okay, well, I like that I communicate with myself. Thank you. And then I like to go to therapy. Okay. Let's see. Number 8. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? Basically, if you insult any marginalized person, it's not funny. Or violence. Like, I think those are the top 2 things. I think that the marginalized people could maybe do it if they are in the group themselves and have worked through their shit. But not a lot of stuff is like off limits. You just have to do it right. Like, and you can't be mad if people don't laugh because you're insulting someone. You know what I'm saying? Mark Maron always talks about this, especially after COVID and after like our, cultural awakening, some people awakening. He was like saying that people think you can't say anything anymore because people aren't laughing and they're so sensitive. And Mark's like, if it's not funny, it's not funny. Like, you insulted someone. Why would they fucking laugh? That's stupid. You're dumb. So yeah, I'm a generous laugher. I'll pretty much laugh at anything unless you're insulting a marginalized group or just insulting in general. Punching down is a thing. Like, if you do that, then no. So yeah, and then violence, like, yeah. Okay. Number 9, if you were to die this evening, with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? What haven't you told them yet? Uh-oh, that makes me want to cry. No opportunity to communicate with anyone. What would you most regret not? I have said everything I've needed to say. That's not even a joke. I think I've said everything, which is really a gift and a privilege because I came to this conclusion a long time ago. Like, people would judge me for saying how I felt. And now I'm just like, what a life to not live if you aren't honest with people. There is like an instance with that manager I was talking about where like I do wish I kind of had said like that I actually don't understand where he's coming from because I didn't understand at the time, but that's not important enough to me to think about if I were to die this evening. If I were to die this evening, like, I don't need to talk to that guy or say I don't regret that and that's what the question is. So why haven't you told them yet? I can't think of anything. I really can't. If someone can think of something, I don't know. I'm honest on dates. I don't know. And I tell my mom I love her every fucking day. I tell my dad and I have had talks. I think I'm in a pretty decent place with that. Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's a question for you guys. And yeah, that's a really good question. Okay. 10. Your house, containing everything you own, catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any one item. What would it be and why? Does my phone count? Did I already take my phone out? I'm thinking more logically. My phone, I guess, to like call, about it. But I'm looking at what would I run in and get? Because the most important things to me are not, they're not things, they're my family. So, but I've rescued all of them. I'm just trying to look around and see. Oh, this scrapbook would be good. If I could get this scrapbook. I have a scrapbook that I just started. I'd love to take my scrapbook back out. TV, piano, music, maybe my sheet music. No, I can reprint all that. I'm not going back in for that. I don't know. I can't think of anything sentimental. I'm sure there's some sort of sentimental thing, like, I don't know, your grandmother's last dying wish or something like that, but that's not what I have in my home right now. Yeah, the scrapbook is good with that. I have pictures and sentimental value. I'll say that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing? Why? Oh, that's not good questioning. I don't want to know. I don't know. That makes me feel like I don't know, that just makes the other person feel left out if I'm not disturbed by their death as much as the other person. Of all the people in your family, I mean, this is what's tricky. Okay, I don't have a straight answer to this, so I'll just be honest. You can skip ahead 10 seconds while I explain my point of view. I would, because here's the thing. Okay, again, my mom's death would probably wreck me the most. I don't know if that means disturbing or what, but her death would disturb me the most. But we have talked about death a lot, actually, and like what's going to happen afterwards. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but I think it might be easier potentially than if we had not spoken or didn't say how we felt, that kind of thing. But disturbing, I'm that's how I'm taking it, but I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all my family members. That's kind of my answer. I don't know if I have another. I just don't think I have another one that I can think of. Yeah, because disturbing makes it seem like there's something happened a certain way, like they died a certain way, like maybe were killed or something. That's disturbing. But I don't have that. Maybe disturbed. I would also be disturbed. No, again, disturbed is just a weird word for me. If my uncle passed, one of my uncles passed, I would be really heartbroken because my mom is so close to him and he's just done so much for us that would be disturbing. But again, mine is just like my heart would break. I don't know if disturbing is the right word. But those are the reasons why, and that's my answer. Okay. Number 12, share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. Well, that's dumb. That's not a great... that's the last question. A personal problem and ask your partner's advice. Okay. Again... This is weird to do by myself, but I don't know, I get my first personal problem right now is like what I do with my job, I guess, and my day job, I should say, and where I want to stay with that. But I've thought through that, and I guess my only advice to myself and advice I've gotten from other people is to keep applying, keep looking. The job market sucks. It's not me. It's not me, and it's not all of the rest of us that are applying for jobs. This market is just weird, and people are posting stuff, and then they're not hiring, or it'll still be on, or they forget to take the post down, or whatever it is. And that's kind of, and along with that, I guess it's just jobs in general of how I want to spend my life. Like, do I want to move to LA and try to pursue acting again, like more so? And the only thing holding me back, not again, but one of the things holding me back is money too, because I'd like to live by myself if possible. So I would really need to think about the job that I get out there or the day job that I get to make that happen. Yeah. And then ask your partner to reflect to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. What? Okay, well, I don't have a partner right now, and that seems weird to me. The problem I've chosen is just fine. I've been thinking about it a lot. Okay, so yeah, and then the last little thing is that I'm supposed to spend, I don't know how you do this. You're supposed to spend 4 minutes, uninterrupted minutes, staring into each other's eyes after this. I don't like that. Can we do 2 minutes or like 1 minute and see how that goes? Married people, can you do this for 4 minutes and let me know how it goes? Honestly, because yikes. I'm just going to read this to you too, the research behind it. They were developed by a team of researchers led by Arthur Aaron and Elaine Aaron. They're 2 PhD psychologists who have spent decades researching how attraction, intimacy, and romantic love form. They are married. And then In 97, a team published a paper describing a series of experiments in which they asked pairs of strangers to take turns asking each other of the 36 questions, and then they're asked to do the 4-minute thing. And then they're quoted as saying, one key pattern associated with the development of a close relationship among peers is sustained, escalating, reciprocal, personalistic self-disclosure. The core of the method we developed was to structure such self-disclosure between strangers. Oh, so... Okay, is this just psychologist talk for like get deep with me immediately? I'm sorry. The questions are designed to help two people gradually reveal more and more about themselves, as well as identify ways in which they're similar to each other and say the things they like about each other out loud. That's important. Saying the things that you like about each other out loud. Lots of things, saying them out loud is really important. Yeah. And then, yeah, it's just talking about the importance of self-disclosure, meaning like disclose your feelings pretty immediately to a stranger and then you'll get deeper, closer. Okay, now I'm just like, okay, I knew that already, but these questions were great. So the research I don't really care about because we all knew that, but the questions have been used in many other psychology studies, from helping married couples get closer to helping people reduce racial prejudice. Oh, okay. Like I said, this can be used for anything. Okay. And then it says, because it's supposed to be, the thing is called 36 Questions to Fall in Love. And it says it's supposed to help strangers develop feelings of closeness and intimacy. But, whether they fall in love or not is not necessarily proven. That's definitely not proven. But yeah, I think it's just inviting closeness, inviting and intimacy in a way that's not sexual, but intimacy in a way that's deep, and you might not share these with other people. And I think, again, it just goes to that, idea that you can share yourself with other people. And if you're really wanting to get close to somebody, I mean, this is how you do it. You ask questions and you don't hold back and you are honest. I think that is really, not that we needed a, study to prove that, but there are some people who just don't understand that quite yet because they haven't gone through that yet. So yeah. Okay, well, thanks for listening to these. Please don't forget to rate and review this because I'm really hoping that this is the last strike pod, but I said that 2 strike pods ago, so who the fuck knows? But I do appreciate you if you listen to this, and, I hope the best for everyone out there living their best lives. I hope that we can all just have a, safe and productive or whatever the F you want your final 2023 months to be. Because October's over, baby. She's over. And I thought she was going to be amazing, but she kind of wasn't. So, here's to November, bottoms up. And if you're sober, then, cheers anyway with a glass of, sparkling non-alcoholic champagne. Okay. All right, guys. Well, this was a shorty. That's all I had to say. And that's really all that's going on. But if you have questions or you want to submit anything, let me know. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great week. And I hope that you are staying safe out there and taking care of yourself mentally, because I'm trying my best at that too. So thanks, guys. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.